Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. This is I Can't Make This Shit Up, and I'm your host, Joe Garner. Just wanted to welcome all of you that have not seen the show before, and then also those of you that have been supporting me and watching the show and checking out my website, Facebook, Instagram. Um, Happy holidays, welcome back, and Happy New Year. I'm really glad you guys are joining me and checking me out. So, tonight's episode is going to be an update episode, just kind of what's been going on over the last month or so since the last episode, taking a break for the holidays. Um, Keep in mind that you guys can catch me every Wednesday night. Um, Usually it's going to be at midnight, but tonight was having some technical difficulties with my laptop, so got started way, way late. But um, yeah, so here's some updates from the last month. Um, first up is first update is I finally got to go see my husband. Um, his birthday was December 28th, so I was able to go see him for a visit since the visit restriction got lifted. Um, it took almost 2 months to finally get to go see him. It really felt like a piece of me was missing, not being able to see him for those 2 months. I was going and seeing him once a week, and not being able to see him was really starting to take a toll on me. Um, Being a prison wife is not an easy uh, thing, and for those of you that are prison wives that are watching, um, you know, I really commend you because I know how tough it is, and it's not an easy thing to go through. To hold down somebody while they're incarcerated is probably one of the hardest things I've had to do. Um, you know, it's definitely made our love stronger. It's made our relationship, our marriage better. Um, but it has tested us, and it's been hard. Um, Trust is something that's tested. Uh, you know, Patience. Financially, it's hard, especially when, I was out of the job for a while. That's another update. I finally got a new job. So I am now working at the local psychiatric hospital um, here in Grand Rapids. It is the third largest behavioral health network in the US, which is something I didn't know until my orientation. Um, I am a recovery coach for them. So I'm really, really proud of getting this job, and I'm really excited to get trained and get going in my position. So I will be working on the only unit that's actually voluntary. So there's no locked doors. I don't have to go through some of the other training that some of the other people do because of the fact that it is a voluntary unit. So, um, but yeah, it's a really good opportunity. This organization is very it has great benefits to it. They will put me through nursing school. They will pay $30,000 if I give them a 2-year commitment to put me through nursing school. And I'm definitely going to take advantage of that. I want to go get my LPN license and become a licensed practical nurse so then I can continue on and become a physician assistant and start my own treatment center. Um, let's see, another update. So for Christmas, I got a dog. Um, I got the dog actually from my grandmother. However, the dog has become super attached to me. He is a German Shepherd. They say he's German Shepherd Rottweiler mix, but I fully believe he's not German Shepherd Rottweiler. After looking him up and using an app on my phone, it's like a dog identifier. You take a picture of the dog and it tells you what breed it is. Even if it's mixed breed, what percentage of each breed it is. And the dog identifier says that my dog is German Shepherd and what did it say? It said Leon Burger is the dog breed it said it was. It said he is. A Leon Burger breed is very, very rare. There's not very many of them in the United States. They are originally from Germany, and they are big, fluffy dogs like a Newfoundland or a Great Pyrenees or Bernese Mountain Dog, St. Bernard. They're very, very pretty. My dog is 85 pounds. He is only a year. He is a big baby. His name is Ranger. I'll show you guys a picture of him. So this is my dog. He's actually laying over here with me. If you guys want to see another picture of him laying down. So there he is laying down. He's very, very big. He's got huge feet. He's a very, very good boy. I got him from the Kent County Animal Shelter. I do not know who would give this dog up. They found him as a stray. But he is such a good dog. He walks nice. You know, I live on the second floor of an apartment, and he goes down the steps and up the steps so good. All you have to do is say, Ranger, nice. And he slows down, walks right by your side. He knows commands like sit, down. He knows half of rollover. We're working on it. And he knows his name already. He knows the word no. The only issue we're having is he likes to take after my cats, and that's basically the only problem we have. If they wouldn't react, he wouldn't tear after them. But, you know, they see him, and because he's so much bigger, I think they get scared and, you know, swat and hiss, and that's when he gets aggressive and goes after them. But I think it'll take some time. It'll take a lot of getting used to for all of them. So right now we have to keep him out here in the living room, which, you know, that way the cats can still wander in the hallway and in my room. So we have to keep the hallway gated so he can't get down there and eat their food, because he likes to eat their food as well. But I got him as a companion for my grandma, and he has become very, very attached to me. So he is now pretty much my dog. I'm not even really a dog person. I'm a cat person, but I've kind of fallen in love with him, and I can't help it because he's so damn cute, and he's a big baby. And I took him out of doggy jail. So, I mean, I can't help it. I actually have to work tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., and I am not a morning person. So this episode is going to be somewhat short and sweet. So, yeah, I worked second and third shift for 16 years. And so me getting up in the morning is pretty much one of the hardest things ever. I don't do mornings. I am a night owl, and, you know, I don't wind down until like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 5, and then fall asleep. I get up at like 10 or 11 in the morning, sometimes later, sometimes like noon, 1 o'clock. So this is super hard for me. When I'm working, when I'm not training, when I'm working my actual shifts, I'll be working second and third shifts, so it'll be a lot better. But because I'm training right now and doing like classes, and tomorrow I have to be in the computer lab doing our, it's called EPIC training, which is the health information system that we use. And so basically it's just all computer training tomorrow. Fun. And it's kind of a review for me because I've used EPIC already. But yeah, it's, you know, a great paying job. Benefits are great. And I'm really, really excited to be part of the organization. You know, another update is I finally got a vehicle. Thank God, because with being without a vehicle is probably one of the hardest things, especially with trying to go and travel 2 hours one way to go see my husband, and not having a vehicle is extremely difficult. So that's another blessing. If it wasn't for one of my best friends being in Kent County Jail right now, I wouldn't have a vehicle. But I was able to go get this vehicle, and now I have it to drive. It's a SUV, so it's really good in snow. It's 4-wheel drive, and I'm just really, really fortunate and really lucky to be able to have this, and get around. So thank you to my best friend that is sitting in Kent County right now. I appreciate you more than you know. I know you'll see these when you come home. So he actually wants to be on a podcast. We've talked about doing the show together. He's also in recovery, and he, like I said, he's just one of my very best friends, and I've known him for a long time. He was a good friend of my ex-fiance that passed away, Zach. That's actually how I met him. I had actually sent him kind of on a mission to try and find out how Zach died, or who was with Zach when he died. And he was able to actually find one of the people that was with him when he did die. And he really wouldn't talk about it. It really bothered him. And so Luke, my best friend, didn't really get any more details than that, but he was able to tell me who was with them. So I did get a little bit of closure from it. Let's see. Speaking of prison lives, so Saginaw prison decided that a couple weeks back they were going to start making their own visitation rolls. This is something that they cannot do, and because of the way the MDOC is, there are policies, and these policies have to be followed uniformly by each of the prisons. And so all these policies that are made, each prison has to follow them unless otherwise told by the deputy director of the Correctional Facility Administration. So a friend of mine, actually my husband's best man's wife, from our wedding, she had contacted me and told me that that the visiting room was no longer, you could not sit next to your loved one. You had to sit across from them, and that you could not have any physical contact with them except for when you got there and when you left. So you couldn't hold hands, you couldn't put arms around the shoulder. And that's what they had started. It basically was to stop contraband from coming in. And so when I heard about this, I was like, they can't do that. That's against policy. Well, December 9th, there was a new memorandum put out by MDOC that specifically stated the policies of visitation. And in the policy, it specifically states, and I quoted this policy in an email to both the warden and the warden's assistant of Saginaw Correctional Facility. And in my email, I also CC'd the MDOC, and they would know, so that they would know what was going on. And I told them that the policy is being broken. And I quoted the policy in my emails directly, and I attached the visitation policies to my email, the memorandum from December 9th. Within 36 hours, I got a response from the warden stating that the visitation room had been put back to the way it was and things were all back to normal. Apparently, they don't like being told on by, told on to the deputy director of the CFA. So after that, and I posted in my Prison Wives groups on Facebook about what happened. I started getting messages through Facebook from other prison wives asking me about how I beat my visit restrictions, all sorts of things. So now I've become like this person full of information, and people are trying to find out, what I did to get my visits back, and, how can I help, them with their situations. And it's really quite interesting because I actually got to know a lady who lives in Germany. I'm going to actually have her as a guest on my show soon. She is a nurse in a forensic psychology unit in Germany, and her fiance is in Saginaw. He's in level 2. My husband's in level 4. And they've been together for 4 years, and he's not due to be released until 2029. So he's still got a little ways. He's been there for quite a while. So she had an issue with one of the COs that I did. So there's a particular CO that likes to be very slow when checking people in for their visits, and will take up an entire hour of our visit checking people in for no reason. And it's not right and it's not fair. Every time it happens to me, I always ask for an extension of my visit because I get there on time. You're cutting into my visitation hours. And I'm allowed that time with my husband. So I don't take that lightly. And this particular CO, when my friend went for a visit when she was here in the US to see her fiance, she had stared at my friend's necklace that she was wearing, which was a Star of David necklace. My friend is Jewish, and the necklace was given to her by her grandmother, who had been in a concentration camp. And the necklace is like 90 years old and survived being in a concentration camp. So it's very, very personal to my friend. And what this CO did was she tried to actually cancel my friend's visit because of that necklace. She looked at her and said, I don't think this is happening today. And when she was able to go back and be patted down. Well, during her pat down, they pretty much like half strip searched her with the door open, and there were inmates that were like right across the hall sitting on the floor, and they could see in the pat down room. And luckily there was a marshal that was there, a U.S. Marshal, and he kind of positioned himself in between the doorway and the wall, and made it so they couldn't see in while she was getting searched. And the CO that was doing the pat down actually took her necklace off of her and threw it on the floor. That is a huge no. Like, that is anti-Semitic, and it shouldn't be happening. So she discussed this issue with me, and I helped her write an email to the warden, and I told her that, if she doesn't get a response, and actually, if she doesn't get a response by Monday, December 6th, then she is taking the issue to the deputy director of the CFA. She's also probably filing a lawsuit because of this situation. She has still not heard yet back from the warden. And I feel like she should have been heard, he should have responded to her immediately after this situation. The CO should not be working for the MDOC, because if she's doing things like this to visitors, what is she doing to inmates? Especially inmates that, are Jewish. Having your beliefs, your religious beliefs, somebody being, I guess, the only way I can think of it is, being, oppressed, or I can't even think the word right now. Having a CO think negatively about you because of your religion and be biased and just any of that is so incredibly terrible. I can't even imagine how she felt. And I can't imagine how her fiance feels being an inmate in that situation, knowing that there's staff working for the MDOC that is treating people that way. And he can't do anything about it. He's also Jewish. My heart goes out to her, because that's a really, really tough situation. And I hope she takes every necessary route to make sure that that CO loses their job. And I hope that the prison gets, reprimanded for having a CO that is doing something like that. It's discriminatory. That's the word I was looking for. And it's disrespectful. I mean, I guess racist would be another way to put it, but anti-Semitic, that's a disgrace to the correctional facilities and just to the criminal justice system in general. And I really hope she gets gets what she needs out of that, because that's something that shouldn't be happening. Let's see, some more updates. Well, my Christmas was pretty uneventful. I really don't celebrate Christmas, and so I pretty much stuck around at home and watched episodes of Graceland on Hulu. That was my Christmas. I didn't even have Christmas dinner or anything. So I think I ate pie and made pierogies, to be honest. If, it's just myself and my grandma for the holidays. And so with my husband being incarcerated, there's not a whole lot to celebrate. We don't have any real family traditions. The most I decorate is Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, which I ordered a bunch of new decorations from Amazon and Temu. Temu is my new shopping obsession. Super cheap shit from China that takes like 2 weeks to get, but pretty good quality for the most part. Can't really complain. It just takes kind of a long time to get it. Nothing like Wish where you would order something, forget about it because it wouldn't come until like 6 months later. Had that happen a couple times. But so I ordered some Nightmare Before Christmas decorations. I got a table runner for my dining room table. I got a rug for my room. Let's see. I got dish towels. I got a sign for my front door. My front porch has a big, to put on the door to my front porch, like a big door cover. Let's see. What else did I get? Window clings. So I thought I was ordering a Nightmare Before Christmas wreath to put on my door. Apparently, it was not a wreath. Their idea of a wreath was having a picture of a wreath with Jack Skellington's face in the middle of it on a front door, putting it on cloth that covers a door. That was their idea of a wreath. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Now, I understand it was $5 and that I got it for free as like a free gift or whatever. But really? Are you serious? A picture of a wreath on a front door put onto cloth. I was pissed. So stupid. And I got a new 40-ounce tumbler from my best friend. My best friend, Missy. Her and her daughter went shopping and they saw that and got it for me. So I was super excited. They also got me little ornaments to put on my non-existent Christmas tree because I have cats and cats like to climb in Christmas trees, especially mine. So I can't have a Christmas tree. We had one out on the front porch that was plastic and it had little lights on it. And yeah, it was just like an outdoor tree. So, and it's white and it had multicolored lights in it. It was really cool, really bright. But that was on our front porch and that was my version of a tree. So, anyway, my New Year's was pretty uneventful. Didn't do much. So let's see. I had applied to another position, had a phone interview, and that went well. It is for, it's a remote at-home position that I can do part-time since my job at Pine Rest, the psychiatric hospital that I'm working for, is per diem, which means basically I have to work one shift every 6 weeks. That's what my job requires. So I can pick up shifts. I can pick up any open shifts, but I'm only required to work one shift every 6 weeks. So so what I'm trying to do is get another part-time job that I can do at home. So the job that I will be interviewing for on the 8th, it's with the director of the organization and the lady that called me. It's based out of Massachusetts, and it's for people that have been caught driving impaired. And what I'll be doing is I'll be basically doing like group therapy type stuff through Zoom online, where I'll have people in classes and I'll be teaching those classes a specific curriculum that's evidence-based and it's state required. So it's kind of like what I was doing for alternative directions, where it's like a criminal justice type institution, but it's more of a recovery organization that does this for people. So, I have to report to probation officers and, other people that are in my client's life for their impaired driving charge. So I'm super excited about that. There's a couple other positions that I applied to that were remote, that all pay really well. And then I also actually did apply to the Michigan Department of Corrections as a recovery coach. And that is in Jackson at the RGC building. And that's basically quarantine. It's where all of the male inmates first go before they are sent out to the prison that they're actually specifically going to. So they all have to go to RGC first, and then they go to prisons all around the state. So it's a really, really good paying job. It has really good benefits. It's full time. Jackson's about an hour and a half away from me, from Grand Rapids. So it's a position that I would take and probably end up moving to the Lansing area instead of trying to commute every day, because that I do not want to do. So I think that's what right now I know they're doing my background check. I passed the first part where it was like a phone interview with a recovery coach that works for them. And yeah, I'm really hoping that this could be, a position that I get, because like I said, it pays really well. There's really good benefits, and I would be able to leave Grand Rapids, which I really do want to get out of this city. Grand Rapids to me is like a black hole. Every time I leave, I get sucked back, and it's time to move on and go somewhere else, I think. And I would really like to start my family somewhere else, and have my life somewhere else other than this city, because this is where I grew up and this is where there's a lot of bad memories. And just really just, start fresh. So like I said, they're working on my background check right now. It can take up to 8 weeks for that to come back. So I will keep you guys updated and let you know what's going on with that. I will also let you know what happens at my interview next week, since I believe so. And with starting my new job too. So, but a big shout out to my supporters out there. You guys are the real heroes for putting up with my craziness and wanting to hear what I have to say. Seriously. So thank you. I told you guys it was going to be a short and sweet episode. So we're almost at 40 minutes, and I am going to say have a good night. Thanks for joining me. Hope you guys like the updates, and I will see you next week, Wednesday night, midnight. That is 12 o'clock.